because tomorrow the first volume of Bungo Beast comes, and well, that's if my pre-order still comes on time. I'm now worried. See if I say this now and I jinx it and it's now like, oh, it's now been delayed. I'm going to cry. Heyo everyone, it's AJ, and today should have been a Mango Monday, but no, I had to jinx myself in the last video, didn't I? Yeah, so Beast got delayed, obviously, because I would be so unlucky for that to happen. Literally uploaded the video, then got the email saying, hey, by the way, you know how you're expecting a book tomorrow? It's not coming anymore. We hate you. Bags. So I'm not even going to say when it's been delayed till, because it's probably going to get delayed again. So Beast will come eventually. However, I still wanted to do a wee Bungo video, so I thought we would dive into some theories that I've seen, and well, just kind of discuss them. Why not? So, not gonna lie, most of them basically revolve around Dazai, because obviously Dazai is just theory fuel. Because who the fuck is Dazai? So, especially talking about theory stuff, we're going to be talking about things that have happened after the anime. So if you're not caught up with the manga, lots of spoilers ahead and danger. Enjoy! So the first theory, which actually doesn't involve Dazai, believe it or not, is probably, I think, one of the most popular theories. Because it was the first theory that I came across, like, when I opened up to the world of fruity depression, is the Naomi theory. In fact, Naomi is dead, ain't real, yeah, you know. So, kind of stems from she is part of Tanazaki's abilities, kind of like, you know, Elise with Mori. Like, obviously she's got her own kind of physical being, and like she kind of can do her own wee thing, somewhat free will-ish. So, like, can interact with the world and whatnot. It's not like she's like a ghost or anything like that. Like, she can do shit. The whole theory with like Naomi just being another part of like Light Snow is very interesting, especially how Tanizaki reacts about her and whatnot. So, part of the theory within the world of Bungo is that, yes, she was his sister, but died, but out of his grief, like through his ability, has somehow been able to make a physical form, kind of thing. It's interesting because real life Tanizaki wrote a novel called Naomi, in which a guy takes in this younger girl, like he's like late 20s or something like that, and tries to make her like the perfect wife because she's got like Western features and kind of shit. And there's a part where like they say they're siblings rather than that they're a couple, which is rather messed up. But obviously, if you think about Bungo, the siblings don't exactly act like siblings. They're a little more closer than that. Obviously, with like most theories, there's always little like holes and whatnot. So it's trying to figure out how it works exactly, because does it rely on Tanizaki always having to be present? Because if that's the case, how can she be there? Like, you know, when she's hiding out away from Tanizaki, like out in the wee kind of cabin thing, and then they get attacked by Lovecraft, or even like the whole encounter with Q. Like, obviously Tanizaki wasn't there, so, and part of it would be like, would he have to be around for it to be present enough to like manifest? Like, how strong is his ability so that something could still manifest within the world without him being there? I'm not trying to be like picky, like, but like, here's a theory, but I don't mean it like that. I'm just more intrigued about the possibilities of it, if that makes sense. I don't really want to like try and tear it apart because I do really like the theory. I actually really like the theory. See people that just like dedicate themselves to like making theories and then have all their evidence and be like, I looked up this and this and this and this and this and this totally makes sense. Like, damn, boy. I just love people that just go, I have this weird thought. I'm going to put it out there, and then it just somewhat gets wildly accepted because then somebody else just clicks and goes, oh, yes, that makes complete sense, and it just goes, phew, it just spreads around, and it's like, yes, Naomi's dead, that's just it. That was probably one of the biggest things that I knew coming into this, like, oh yeah, like, Naomi's probably dead. It's like, So, second theory. The first theory of Dazai. Dazai theories. Turns out, he's the book. That lovely fucking weapon that is just ruining everything in the manga right now. And also Beast. It's just funny how it all comes back. We can't have Beast, but we can have the book. We can mention the book that ruins everything within Beast. Yeah. So this is a weird theory. And frankly, nobody seems to discuss it, apart from the fact that, yes, this seems to be a thing. That's what I found out. Because I've seen lots of people talking about it on TikTok. And I was like, right, I'm going to look into this. But nobody's really dove into it. They're just like, oh, hey, by the way, ting. I'm like, okay, but like, it's nothing like the Naomi theory. Like, everyone's like, massive paragraphs, done like fucking whole dissertations on it. No, nothing for the whole Dazai is a book thing. But everyone seems to talk about it. Well, I say everyone. I've seen like lots of different accounts and whatnot, like mentioning it. But I don't know if it's kind of part and parcel with the other theory that I want to go into. So speaking of the book, obviously I talked about this in my light novels video when I talked about Beast and how Dazai seems to have, as part of using the book, he gained like information of basically all the fucking parallel universes and whatnot, and obviously knew that in every single universe, apart from the one that they're in right now, that he's created essentially, that Oda dies, blah 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 blah. I don't know if it makes Dazai the book, rather than maybe the creator of the book, or that the fact the book created Dazai. Like, do I believe that Dazai is connected to the book? Yes, I feel like he is, but I don't think he is the book. He might be a key to the book, if that makes sense. I just don't think he is the book, you know? Obviously, he's not obviously a physical book, because obviously people are like writing on the page and whatnot, but he's definitely intertwined with it, because why for Beast, right, would it be him that's like connected to it all? Like, why was he the one that was able to create this world in which Oda lives, but obviously in doing that things have changed because he knows the fact that the guild's coming and everything like that, so he already had prior knowledge about what was going to happen. Is the book like maybe a subpar ability of Dazai's? Now this is just theory crafting literally right off the top of my head. Now I'm just thinking about this, I'm like, oh oh no. I am just spewing rubbish. But then that's kind of how theories work. You just think of something and then it's like, right, okay, so this could work and then that could work and then that could work. And then obviously you just try and disprove it or to prove it. I don't know why my instinct was to disprove. I think that says a lot about what I think about my theories. To tie that in with the next theory that like blew my mind is that both Dazai and Fyodor know that they're characters. Like, they're self-aware that they are characters within a story. Which then, like, connects to, it's like, right, are they writing the book? Are they part of the book? Like, I love this theory, because obviously they're the ones that seem to know everything. They're always at each other's ends and whatnot. They just know everything that's going to happen. So then, if you're writing the story, or you're part of it, or you're intertwining it, like, you would know. Like, because of this theory, it gives me heavy Monica vibes, like from Doki Doki Literature Club, if you ever played that game. The fact they're like so self-aware about their characters, so then like they're the major like puppeteers within this story to like create the story and lead it forward, but then they're still like, at each other because they know they need to be against each other to create the events, because for everything that happens, whether it's outside or inside, if that makes sense, like they're part of it. Like Dazai is so intertwined with what happens within Yokohama. And Fyodor is so intertwined with everything, all the influences from outside of Yokohama. And the fact that obviously now they're combined, but now affects the whole world. Wow, theory crafting. Like, this theory literally blows my mind, but it literally makes so much sense. In ways. Because, of course, they would be in jail together. You know, they'll be in prison together. They talk to each other in their own language. But that would make so much sense that they would create a language so that they could talk about what's going to happen without other people knowing, because they can't let other people know what's happening because they're dictating what the story is. Or they know what's going to happen within the story, so then they can't spoil it for other people. So then if they spoil it, like, they have an opportunity to fix it. So essentially their roles is to ensure that the story goes forward and like follows through. But they're very well aware what happens. Because like I said with Beast, like Dazai knows all of it's going to happen. Like he knows for a fact that Atsushi and Atagawa will make an amazing pair and work together. So he works them up to get them together and whatnot. It's stuff like this. Why is this blowing my fucking mind just thinking about it? It's like, oh yes, theory crafting, just make it worse. Wow, overthinking really does drive you insane. And here I was just happily thinking like, my ultimate theory about Dazai and Fyodor is the fact that they're going to have the exact same parallel death as Oda. Because they are literally each other's match. So they're both going to die together. And then this one just came along and blew my fucking mind. Since we're talking about theories, kind of want to talk about little silly thoughts that I have about the series, or like what could happen, you know? So, my little Ages Mini theories. So obviously I've already said a theory about the fact that Dazai is definitely going to die. I feel like, see if Dazai doesn't die, I feel it would be wrong? Like, do I want Dazai to die? No, I love Dazai. Like, I love him as a character. But I feel like he has to die. I feel like it wouldn't be a satisfying end for his character if he doesn't die. That sounds very mean, but I think it's the way it has to go. I also have a bad feeling with that. That means Chuya has to die with him, which I don't really want that to happen, but I feel like what would happen is Dazai is fighting for Fyodor, and Chuya is getting into mix with it, but he's going to use corruption, but Dazai is going to die first before he can nullify Chuya, which then Chuya will then die because Dazai can't nullify corruption, which means corruption will kill Dazai, because obviously corruption just goes and goes and goes until he dies. Happy! But coming from that, I feel like with the arc going on, I feel like quite a few people are going to die and whatnot, or could die. And it's going to shake a lot of things up. And I feel like at least down the line, I feel like Atagawa is going to end up being like Port Mafia boss, and Atsushi is going to like run the ADA. Like, I feel like that's what it's kind of being led up to. Like, you know how they're like, well, getting kind of built up to do. I feel like that's a possibility. And yes, I know all the manga people are now being like, excuse me, have you not read chapter 88? Yes, I have read chapter 88. Yes, I know that technically as of this moment, Atagawa is basically a fucking vampire and, well, he basically died. But I feel like there's going to be a possibility for people who have been turned into vampires to be resorted back. To be fixed. And I feel like there's probably going to be a way for Atagawa to be fixed. I don't feel like they'll kill Atagawa, even though, like, obviously he had, like, whatever lung problem he had. What was it? Fuck, what? He had his health condition in which he was basically already dying from his health condition. I don't know why this ended up just becoming, like, almost like, oh, who's going to die by the end of the series? I also think Rampo's going to die, which I really don't want to, because I really want Rampo to live, but I feel like Rampo is going to die as well. And I don't want that. I also feel like Yusano as well. Because obviously you would want to try and get rid of the person if it can bring people back to life. I'm just making myself sad now, thinking it's like, oh yes, how's this person going to die, and this favourite character going to die, and this character going to die. Oh, I'm so sorry. I genuinely am. I didn't really mean for this to be fucking depressing. See, this is what happens when you don't get your fucking Beast pre-order on time. You end up making stupid theory videos about sad things because there only is sad theories for Bungo Stray Dogs because it is Bungo Stray Dogs. Where's the lie? Show me a happy theory. See if there's a happy theory. Please, like, show me it, because frankly, I only know of, like, sad, depressing theories. And, well, it would be nice to have a happy one. I think literally the happiest thing I've just said is that Akutagawa comes back to life. And I don't even like Akutagawa. I think that's what makes it worse. I'm just like, oh yeah, I think he's going to live. But I don't even like him. I'm going to end it there because this is just going down a really, really sad rabbit hole and I think we need a little breather. I would love to say next time it's going to be Beast, but I ain't fucking jinxing it again. So whatever comes, comes. But we'll get to Beast eventually because frankly, we need to talk about it. Oh, Muzzin! When it eventually comes. Oh well. So, until next time, I'm AJ and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!